After 19 people were killed and hundreds injured in a massive protest by the youth and clashes with the law enforcement in Kathmandu, Nepal, the cabinet led by Prime Minister K.P. Sharma Oli has finally lifted the ban on 26 social media platforms. Anaf Hussain has the details.
After the meeting, Nepal's Minister for Communications, Information and Broadcasting, Prithvi Gurung, told reporters the government has accepted the demands of Gen Z and has decided to lift the ban on social media. Now, our request to the protester is that you calm down and go home. However, international media reported that a curfew has been imposed in various parts of the country, including the capital, Kathmandu. After protesters took to the street for the second consecutive day, the police are trying to push back the protesters. However, the anger of the protesters has been directed at the Oli-led government, which is considered to be increasingly unpopular. Since Monday, two ministers in the Oli government have resigned, and the protesters have also demanded the resignation of the Prime Minister. Meanwhile, after the Home Minister, Nepal's Agriculture and Animal Husbandry Development Minister Ramnath Adhikari has resigned in the face of the Gen Z protests. He submitted his resignation on Tuesday in protest against the government's authoritarian response to Monday protests. This information was reported by Nepali media, the Kathmandu Post in a report. In addition, Nepali Congress General Secretary Gagan Thapa called on Prime Minister Oli to resign, taking moral responsibility for the deaths of 19 people in the Gen Z protests. Thapa said, "Innocent youth have been killed unnecessarily. The Prime Minister must take responsibility for this repression and resign immediately." Earlier, the movement that started in Nepal against the decision to close social media platforms and government corruption led by the Gen Z generation reached the streets from the online. The protests that started in the country's capital, Kathmandu, turned into terrible violence. The protesters were led by students and youth. They took to the streets to protest corruption and government irregularities. They resisted the police water cannons, tear gas shells and rubber bullets with sticks, tree branches and water bottles. The protesters chanted a slogan at every turn. Some even entered the National Parliament building. The movement started in Nepal under the leadership of the Gen Z has once again proven that today's youth are no longer willing to tolerate injustice in silence. This message has clearly reached the government that it is not possible to silence their voices by blocking social media or through repression. The government has finally been forced to back down due to the sacrifice and awareness of the youth. Although there have been tragic incidents such as the loss of life, this movement will go down in history as a symbol of the struggle of youth people for a democratic and accountable society. SATV International Desk.